Yow. Over to Zai Quis Open Doors, aka the PX Vegan Yurt. Quis_Open Doors, as y'all may not know. Page got hacked. So just in case y'all follow me on Instagram, just know it's Quis_Open Doors. I'll make sure I put it down in the description maybe later. But what's going on with y'all? Peace. We back once again. My bottle at. Mm. And so as y'all may or may not know, we already started talking about this on my other joint, but whatever. So we back here to talk about it again. A lot of people can hit me up asking me like how I feel about it, what I think. And so we're gonna chit chat tonight. If y'all wanna be a part of the stream, let me know. I'll bring y'all in. If not, if y'all just wanna chit chat with me in the comments, I appreciate that as well. And we're back once again. Yo, it's crazy because my phone is going off, and everybody's asking me about like how I feel about it. And my only thing is like I'm not too sure of the particulars. Like, and I'm sure that not most of us aren't really too sure about the particulars. We just see and feel like, oh, we feel like we're being betrayed in a sense. But Charlemagne the God brought up a good point as well when he was asking, like, so what have you done for an HBCU? Like, we really do throw the blame, toss the blame, see where we can disagree instead of seeing where we do agree. Because, like, what have you done for an HBCU? And that's a very good question. I'm not doing much for them at all. But on the flip side, I can see it as an unfair question because you could say there's a difference in resources, right? Feels like pocket watching to a degree, but it's we know he has more money than a lot of the people that are casting the judgment or making an assessment of the situation. So we know that he has a type of pull. But what would y'all do? Like if you had to make the decision of whether or not you're going to make cut and dry, it's a money pool, right? We know it's a money play right now. We know that he's going to a PWI, and we can almost safely assume that he's going to get paid more bread because otherwise, why leave? Why leave? Why not build up what you have going on at JSU in order to make JSU a school that can compete with the likes of the school that you're going to coach at now? That's my point of view. You could very well make the case that you wouldn't do it, but you're not in that position. And then if you wouldn't do it, think about how many times people complain about their jobs, but because the check is there, they go to it. So can you really safely say that if you was in a position like himself, Hall of Famer, uh, monetarily blessed, legacy, that you would leave or you would stay and take the lesser of the dollars to do the same thing elsewhere because it's a black organization that you're with now? We've seen people do it. We've seen people do, but on a whole, we don't do it. We don't do it when it comes to black economics. We scream gentrification, woe is us. We scream they doing this, they doing that. They're coming in, they're moving in our neighborhoods, they're walking the dogs, they're jogging. We have an opportunity to cut that and nip that in the bud if we wanted to. Do we really want to? Do we really want to? Do we pour into our own communities and pour into our own businesses and Are you willing to take the sacrifice? Are you willing to yeah. What's good, bro? What's good, bro? My boy LaRon just pulled up. Peace. Big water gang. Hope you drink water today. We gotta still do our part, and we gotta self gentrify, build it up for our own selves, and it's gonna take a sacrifice. And the people that are at the ground levels get the benefits in the long run, not immediately. You know what I'm saying? So we would be building something that ultimately other people in the next generations would be benefiting from. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it for our children's children. ATL in the building. I see you, NYC, you already know. That we very well know. My fault, pardon me. We could we just need to pour into ourselves. Somebody's going to have to sacrifice on the ground level. They're going to take the sacrifice. They're not going to get the immediate benefits. They're not going to be the ones that probably see these multi-million-dollar buildings for all these HBCUs, or even in your neighborhood. You might, you know what I'm saying? You might not get to benefit from the type of neighborhood that you want to live in because you're busy building it for the next generations to come, or others around you, or the neighborhood that you would like to live in. I understand that. I understand it's going to be better or worse depending on what the work that you put in now. So again, we got to ask ourselves: if you was in that position, would you really be the one to say, "I'm not going to make this monetary gain because I want to stick to being pro-black," or whatever you want to call it? I don't know. Myself, it's hard to gauge. And people are saying like, okay, he broke the contract and he breached the contract. He should at least fulfill the contract. The contract wasn't with us; it was with the school, and it's a buyout with the contract. It's a $300,000. What was it? $300,000 left on the contract buyout. He could easily go ahead and tell them in the new contract, yo, you got to pay for my buyout on the previous contract. I'm sure it's covering it multiple times over. Most people not built to sacrifice for the future. It depends. That's a fact, Lamar. What depends? What depends though? But most people are not built to sacrifice for the future. We don't even do it ourselves sometimes. Like, how many times has instant gratification killed us from the long scheme of things? We see it all the time with our guys. We see, you know what I'm saying? Like, they get violent, throw their life away at a young age. Instant gratification, long term suffering. You see with our women, a lot of times their bodies start to develop. They forget that they have a brain. They don't work on their brain integrity, character, or anything, and they're just social media models. So we see it a lot. We do see it a lot, and that's instant gratification on this level. So imagine at that level where he's like, "Yo, I'm getting this amount of money right now. As soon as I sign the contract, I'm getting that money right now, and all I got to do is fulfill my contract." And he did work. It's not like he didn't do anything. He did something. He did help. Did he not improve? I don't watch sports. Y'all gonna have to fill me in. Let me know if I'm wrong. But as far as what I'm hearing, he helped make the situation better. He helped make the program better. So I don't. Do we want him to stay there for our own sake? Are we worried about his sake, or is it because we're being pro-black? Because we it seems like a lot of us are pro-black when it's appropriate for benefiting us, and just us. Again, not for the sacrifices or for the people that would benefit from the sacrifices. My boy LaRon said, depends on the condition he went through living in Mississippi. I heard he got robbed and his son's car got broken into. Okay. I could see that. I mean, I could see that as a means or a reason to want to move. I kind of hate when people say this. I don't. But who's to say that it's not going to happen in the next school that he goes to, or anywhere else that he goes? Is it just because it's Mississippi? But again, like, that speaks to the sacrifices, because I mean, a lot of us, like myself, we want to live in all black neighborhoods. It just sucks that a lot of those all black neighborhoods include other black people that really don't give a damn about where they live or their neighborhood. Like, people throw trash on the floor, let their dog poop anywhere. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I see people at the red lights, really at the red light, throw their styrofoam food tray out, plastic, whatever they eat and whatever they got in the car. People get in their car, just throw their trash on the floor. Like, it's crazy. These are the adults, so you can't even get mad at the kids when they do it, because these are the adults that litter and throw trash everywhere. So it's Like, you want to be around your people, but your people don't always have the same mindset. And that's why I think having a way is great. Like, I like organization for certain things. Having a way is something, but we don't like to adhere to laws and authority oftentimes, man. But he did sacrifice a lot at his time at the school. But he did sacrifice a lot at his time at the school. I feel like, all right. So LeBron, where was he coaching before that? I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is like a leg up, a step up for him. It seems like a step up, but doesn't it always seem like a step up when we leave a predominantly black thing and leave it for a predominantly white thing? This is like the Negro Leagues all over again. They started recruiting our people out the Negro Leagues to come and play into their leagues to make their leagues better, right? I feel like it's that all over again. It's like we're leaving us for a bigger check right now instead of making this the only facility. Like, imagine like the Negro Leagues would have kept all the black baseball players. So you got the best players in the world in the Negro Leagues. You can't go to the MLB. We have to stay here and make it better. Like, same thing. That's why, I mean, same NBA too. They took our players out the ABA. You said this is his first time coaching? Okay. So it was like, yeah, it was an advancement for him. It was really an advancement for him. I'm not like, does that mean, I'm not sure the implications of somebody like putting forth the program, because I know as far as basketball concerned, like different coach, different things. So I'm very interested to see what happens. I'm interested to hear what he has to say about it. I'm told that he didn't like the backlash. Of course, nobody likes the backlash. I'm coming to not even like the term backlash the more I think about it every time I say it. But I don't think he's enjoying it. And who's to say that he's not going to take that money and funnel it back into the black community or funnel it back into the HBCUs? Who's to say? I don't really know much about Prime Time, except for I had a couple of his cards back in my heyday. Like, I wasn't really big on watching sports, and I mean, but this is an economic conversation, not necessarily a sports conversation. I don't know. I just think that more of us do need to sit in the sacrifice. That sucks to say out loud, because who wants to do that? It's like, imagine like you save up to get out of a situation, and then as soon as you saved up to go get your house or your car or whatever, your family needs that money that you worked so hard to save up for. It's like one of those. A lot of us, we would say like, yo, you know what, nah, my family needs me, I'm gonna just have to wait. We'll say that, but how many of us really do it? It's a lot to unpack. His son came along with him to an HBCU. Then his son left with him to go to Colorado. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I don't see anything too wrong with that. It's because, I mean, don't students trade teams all the time? Trade schools, I guess. Trade schools all the time. It's just a nasty business when we're talking about college sports, period, because they should honestly be getting paid. So it's really different. His son was the starting quarterback. Wow. So he's taking the starting quarterback and the head coach with him to another school for another school to benefit from their talents and skills. Yo, I don't know how. It just sounds like every time you say exactly what's happening, it sounds dirty, don't it? Don't it sound a little dirty, a little filthy? Like, yo, he came here, you said he was gonna do this. All right, cool. You worked it out. You worked on us. You made us a little bit better, but now you're gonna take those same things and bring it over to them. I mean, there's a great value in giving, and I believe that to a great degree, but a big part of me wishes that he would just stay there and make that work. A big part of me just wishes that he would stay there and make that work, make the team even stronger, even better. Even find somebody that could follow up behind him. Even, I don't know. But then, this whole integration thing versus segregation thing, was it really a benefit or not? Because then we having conversations like this when we wouldn't have the conversation before. Did we not make the leagues better? Honestly, why were they coming to the Negro leagues to recruit us if they were already better? Like somebody made it. I forgot what I was watching, and somebody said something about stand up. It was a stand up. It was a short, and he was saying, imagine if the aliens came back and the aliens were black, and they said, oh, they're coming to get all the black people, and now football's canceled, now basketball's canceled, now there's country western or something to that effect. It was just funny. It's like, yeah, damn, like what would this be culturally without us? His son had multiple NIL deals too, so he was getting paid. See, I know nothing about that. I know nothing about them NILs, bro. So you gotta put me on. I know nothing about sports. What's an NIL league, man? Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. Didn't even know. Y'all know what an NIL league is? Let me know. I imagine it's some type of what intramural league or whatever. So like I get already saying like college students can get contracted to these leagues and still get paid and still stay in school. That would be cool. That would be cool. But I don't know if that's the case. I feel like if the colleges are benefiting from it, they should definitely get paid from the college itself as well. Should be able to get sponsors. Should be able to get whatever. Because if you're a college athlete, can you get a job working for somebody else? So that's still getting a benefit for somebody. That's whack. And then imagine a star player works at the local McDonald's. That McDonald's is gonna blow up or something. Whatever business he works at locally. But I mean, if you're a star athlete, you don't even got time for a job like that. Name, image, and likeness is for college athletes to get paid for their brands. He had 3 deals that I know about. Whew. Whew. Okay, so okay, so is he like? So I guess what is he in? Name, image, and likeness. And I okay, so I don't know how would they use that, and how do they stop that? That's a whole different conversation because I don't know how do they. So I guess like what? So if they make a live sports game like an NCAA, then he'll get paid from that if he's in that type shit or invited to something. Like I'm not sure what kind of deals will surround it. That's kind of cool though. That's cool. That's cool. And this and you know what? Those deals wouldn't go away. That's cool. So if even you trade schools or whatever, those deals don't dissipate. I like that. I like that. I want to know if the sponsors that donated money to the school will they continue to be supportive of the schools after Deion Sanders is gone, after the limelight is no longer shining on them as bright as it once was. I hope it does continue to. I know I attended a small HBCU for a small amount of time, and in a small town, and it was small change. So when I see other schools with these big facilities, I'm like, oh, this is nice. But honestly, I think everybody that graduates from this school should probably no, maybe give back. I don't know. I don't know what the budget looks like. I just know when I be seeing a school struggling, then I also know that college can be one of the biggest scams in the world. I don't know if I be feeling too bad. Now he can get paid for endorsing a product. Okay, like he was signed to Tom Brady Company, Michael Strahan Company, and a black-owned business. Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, so it's like it's kind of like sponsorship. It's kind of like sponsorship. I dig it. I like it. I rock with it. I dig it. I dig it. I don't. But still, like, is this like what is this precedent set for? It's like what doesn't he set a precedent at the school? Nobody's done what he's done before, and now I bet I did what I had to do, and I'm leaving y'all. That's what it feels like. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I don't know. And then what sacrifices will he continue? Can you continue to make sacrifices for HBCU if he's not at it? I guess it really depends on what happens going forward. Like what participation in our community will he still have? Will he still uphold? We're not gonna stop loving him. He's an athlete. Like, there's not much you can do except for saying that you don't like the ish people. That's the only thing you can really say to get yourself canceled. And you don't even have to say that. All you got to really do is mention them and not say anything and not kiss their butts. And something might happen to you. So with this situation, I mean, we always gonna love Deion Sanders. I like his energy. I like it seemed like the energy that he was putting behind it. It seemed genuine. It felt genuine. It felt like especially for black men, and we see this all the time. And I mean, a lot of people see it all the time. When we see a positive black male role model, we like that's dope. Like and it's always understood, especially within sports, which is where men usually gravitate towards the tutelage or guidance from an older male, which is in sports, and it's the better place. And it's like that's where we learn, like, oh well, you got to pick yourself up, you got to go forward anyway. Nobody cares. Those tears are not going to win the game. If you really hurt, all right, go ahead, sit it out. But if you could play through it, go ahead, play. You know what I'm saying? Just like rules for life. So I guess men understand that in organized sports, and we get that from there, and that's where it's very beneficial. So to have that taken out of the black community, that could sting. That could sting. He's not gonna lose. Deion Sanders' son is not gonna lose his dad. Yeah, I'm taking my son with me. Shoot, nobody else gonna trip. I'm going live at 8:30 tonight. It's a lot to unpack. I bet I will be there. I could pull up. I'm going. I got my other stream at 9, so I could pull up for that one. I could definitely pull up, bro. I'll be there. I already hit the notification. I think usually if it pops up on my screen, I hit the notification already, so I should be Gucci. Should be Gucci fire Gooch, bro. Let me see. Yeah, I already hit the notification, bro. Ready? You already know. Man, I love these people. I love our people. I love um HBCUs. Like I was saying it earlier on my post that I'm from New York City, raised in New York City, and I guess Drumline kind of opened up my eyes to it. Drumline and Stomp the Yard. Yeah, those would be the movies that open my eyes up to HBCUs. Am I going live on IG later? I had not planned on it. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I probably should. I probably should. Nah. I'll be live tomorrow night though. Definitely. I'll definitely be live tomorrow night. And yeah, so seeing that HBCU culture, that black culture, it was different. It's weird. It's a culture shock. First off, the South. Second of all, I saw for the first time, like black professors, right? And especially growing up in a public school system where you see, okay, textbook, teacher's edition. If you ever look at the teacher's edition of the textbook, it gives a study guide for the kids, a teacher's guide, right? And it'll tell the teacher to tell the kids to read the chapter, right? And then do the summary while the teacher's reading the next chapter. They're not proficient in their course. They're not really proficient in their course because they're given a guide and the curriculum changes and they're told what to teach. Whereas when you get to college and there's professors, they know this stuff like the back of their hands because they teach it day in, day out, year after year. So I didn't even learn the common context of English until I got to college. I didn't know what a past participle was. This woman knew it like the back of her hand. She's teaching me, and they, say they're well off. They're financially literate. A lot of them, a lot of times, at least the ones that I met. There's a lot of history there. A lot of things that I missed out on in New York City, like pep rallies, homecomings, things of that nature. Orchestra. I had a semblance of orchestra, but you get down there, people know notes by hearing them and stuff. It's just different. So for everybody that's jealous of being raised in New York City, if you just want to be raised in a store, one of the benefits of being raised in, but you can say this for a lot of cities, I like crowds. I like where it's crowded. Excuse me. I was always jealous of people that was raised in the projects because I'm like, damn, y'all got friends everywhere all the time. You go outside all the time, something's happening. So I can feel that for New York City, but when you don't want it, it's not welcome, especially not in my life. I don't like it. I tend to stray away from the crowds now, unless I draw attention to myself on my own terms. So I don't really so from the crowd, I'm not with people. You know what I mean? I'm moving through it or around it, but That would be the only benefit for it. So I would see like this, and it's awakened a lot of people's eyes. Just like they were talking about on the Breakfast Club. What was your inspiration to go to a HBCU? A lot of people have different inspirations for different times, and we don't have a main inspiration for it. It needs to be saturated with it, so that we all know this information, that we're all privy to it. Um, yeah, and we all know about it, and bare minimum get to experience it. So if you know somebody, for y'all out there that are going to college, think about to go to college, have gone to college, you should let people know that haven't gone to college about your experience. And people that are going, you should ask somebody that has had an experience, especially at an HBCU, what their experience is like and how it's changed their lives. Like it's a huge thing for me, and people always laugh at me about my obsession with the South. I love the South for certain things, and that would be one of those things because the South has a lot of the HBCUs out there. So those would be, you know what I'm saying, places that we really need to delve into and the kids need to know about. It'll get to the point one time where we do make those sacrifices that these black colleges will be considered these HBCUs will be considered uh what would you call those prestige prestigious colleges, like you'd mention it in the same sentence as a Harvard, as Yale. You know what I mean? I think we can make that a constant. We can do that. We can pour into ourselves, but it takes representation, which is one of those things that I feel like is being taken from him, from us by Deion Sanders leaving. Representation, inspiration, and exposure, which is what we need for these types of situations. This is what we need in our community. Period. I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think though. I really just wanted to tap on it real quick. Pause. I really just wanted to tap into it real quick. Speak on it real quick so that y'all wouldn't be delving with questions and I'm not going back and forth and just on my thumb. So that's what I think about the situation. Uh, I know a lot of people that I've spoken to feel similar to that, but I'd love to know the people that are rooting for him to actually leave the HBCU or rooting for him to quote unquote advance in his career. All right. It's your boy Quis Open Doors, and we was talking about Deion Sanders this episode, this segment. Make sure y'all tune in. More insightful opinions. Quis_Open Doors on Instagram. Quis Open Doors everywhere else. And make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, the like button, share this with a friend. Let me know what you think below in the comments. Peace.